Hello everybody! This is my mail and make class for April. I'm going to try to get my comments up and stuff here. So just give me a minute. I don't know how I forget this every single time. How do I do this? How do I bring my comments up? There we go. Alrighty. So don't forget to comment as we go along here. I've been in front of the camera all day filming videos for upcoming classes, so this is super exciting. I see we've got Tanya and Rhonda with us already. So I'm super excited to have some interactions. And for those of you that have gotten your make and take packets for this class, you'll recognize some of this stuff. You may want to grab the stamp set. You don't have to use the Timeless Tropical stamp set. This is just what I'm using. Hi Shirley, hi Tanya, and then we also, hi Maria, and then I'm also going to be using some inks. Anything that coordinates with your designer series paper works. You don't, oh, and I just realized I mucked up the title of my video. Oh well, I can edit that after, I'm pretty sure. I think I'm going to use Old Olive and Early Espresso, but don't hold me to that. Hi Sue! Alrighty, so for those of you that haven't figured it out yet, this is kind of a cool little make and take. So rather than 3 totally separate cards, what I've done here is I've actually made this, let's see if I can get it to line up. This is actually maybe my pieces don't line up, who knows. Something like that, maybe. Anyways, this is a one sheet wonder. So if you have a 6x6 sheet of designer series paper, you can get these pieces by cutting it down 4 inches in one direction, and that gives you a 2x6 inch piece. And then you're going to cut it 4 inches in the other direction, and that gives you a 4x4 piece and a 2x4 piece. And those are going to be the pieces of designer series paper we're working with. So if you've received a make and take package already, or if you're going to get one in the next week or so, it's because you're either one of my team members and you have hit that $200 in sales mark this last month being March, or you have placed an order with me in the month of April, and then you will have received all of this. And classes count for that. So a lot of you will have gotten this when you registered for a class. So that's exciting. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to start with our 4x4 piece. Now I'm going to do a little bit of cutting with this again. And another place where you may have seen these, hi Pam, is I do still have a class available that's a one sheet wonder class, and it's based off of this one sheet wonder, and there's a bunch of different layouts. So what I'm going to do in that class, this piece gets cut into a bunch of different ways. So I'm going to do one of those ways now, and that's just doing a diagonal. And this is super easy. I'm just going to slide this into my cutter on a bit of an angle. I want one piece bigger than the other and slice it on an angle. Doesn't have to be any particular angle, doesn't have to be anything fancy, just an angle. You could do it straight too. I like an angle. Oh, I'm going to do some stamping first. I'm going to take my Old Olive, and I'm going to take my little leaf. Oh, and it's the one stamp that I haven't mounted yet. Perfect. I get to show you how I mount my stamps. So your cling mount stamps, don't forget to take the protective backing off the back of the foam. And then you're going to take just one layer off of the sticker. And this foam will line up pretty darn closely with the hole in your label. Then when you pick it up, it's perfectly labeled. Ta-da! Okay, clear block. And I'm going to scrap this paper here too. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp a few of these leaves that are going to go roughly in where the white space is going to be. But I want them to be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to ink it up, stamp it on here, and then stamp it onto my final piece. There we go. How does that work? Need a little bit more up here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to glue my pieces on. And you can use either side of your designer series paper. This is the nice thing about One Sheet Wonders is you do have different pieces to work with, but you have both sides of the designer series paper to work with as well. I feel like this page has frozen on me. Okay. And we're going to glue that up, and we're going to glue it onto, this is just a 4 by 5 1/4 inch layer. I'm going to glue the top on, and we're going to glue the bottom on. There we go. Now I can actually see what's going on. There we go. And then we're also going to stamp our sentiment, and we're going to do that in Early Espresso. Hi, Other Sue! Okay, sentiment. Which sentiment should we do? You know what? I don't think I've done the Rest and Relax one in a while. Let's do that one. Rest and relax. You deserve it. How true. Rest and relax. There we go. There's our sentiment. So that is kind of the super complicated part of this card done. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take some tear-in tape, which I've managed to cover up. There we go. And we're going to put the tear-in tape along where we want our ribbon to go. So I'm going to put that just below, leaving a little bit of a border. And then we're going to take this super cool burlap braided trim, I think it's called. Put that along there, and then I'm just going to trim it along the edge of that layer. There we go. All right. Okay, now we're going to put this onto our card base. So, folding the card base, bone folder, push down just with the edge, burnish is what it's called, along the edge of the card there. That'll just help it lay flat and stand up a bit better. And then dimensionals, where did they go? There they are. We're going to dimensional this whole kit and caboodle up onto the front of our card. And again, this is just one of the different layouts you can do with this card, or with these pieces rather. And you'll have different colors in your make and take kit depending on which designer series paper you got. And you can use both sides of the designer series paper. I'm actually going to challenge you guys to come up with some different layouts with the pieces in your make and take kits. Show me what you make with it. Or if you didn't get the make and take kit, then cut your own pieces. Doesn't have to be from Timeless Tropical. Cut your own pieces, use these cards as inspiration, and post them. And what I'll do is, I will give you the rest of the day, because it is Share It Sunday. Post what you made with either the pieces I sent you or that are inspired by these cards. Post them on there and on Created with the Crafty Medic, and I will send you some goodies. if I can. Then I've got my champagne rhinestones here. And we're going to add a few of these rhinestones to my card. And that's just going to be kind of the finishing touch. There we go. That is that card done. On to the next. Let's use this long piece. So this long piece is 2 by 6 inches. So we're actually going to end up cutting it down a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our Whisper White card base. What do we need to do with this? Okay, I'm going to actually tear this edge. So the way that I like to tear is always just taking a little bit at a time and tearing towards me. Hi, Lisa. So I'm just going to take a little bit at a time and tear towards me. That way you have that nice little bit of the white from the core showing. You could also, if you were tearing it away from you, you would have this kind of, oh, actually, I really like that. I like this side better. I'm going to do on the fly changes here, and I'm going to do that. There we go. Totally going against my own plan. And that's why it's live. Alrighty. I'm going to glue that onto there. And again, this hangs over a little bit. So I'm just gonna trim to match my card. There we go. Then I'm gonna do the same thing with the tear and tape again for the trim. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do with this. I know what I'm gonna do with this. Now, the trim goes across. Oh, dog hair got it caught in there. All my cards include a little bit of extra dog hair, especially in the springtime. And then I'm going to add one of these little trinkets. Some of you got trinkets in your make and takes as well. That was just kind of random. And we're going to grab the glue dots. Wherever they went. Oh, where did my glue dots go? Glue dots, there they are. I'm gonna put some glue dots on here. So I'm putting my little trinket onto the glue dot and then picking it up. Glue dots are way too finicky to try to pick up the glue dot and attach them to anything. Okay, and then I'm going to use a different sentiment on this one. Let's keep it super simple and do thank you. Hi, Tara. All right, and then, yeah, we'll stick with early espresso, I think. Yeah. We'll do thank you on here. There is a more different card. So just using the other side of the designer series paper. Alrighty, next up, last but not least, I'll show you a few different variations of these cards at the very end. Oh, that's what I could do. All right, how's this? Coming up with things on the fly. Post your cards. So either if you got the make and take package, make a card and post it on Creating with the Crafty Medic, or if you make a card inspired by what you saw here today, post it, and I will send you the PDF. I'm going to post the PDF for these not necessarily these 3 cards, but for the mail and make, kind of as it was intended. Kind of went off script. And then if you post, I'll send you another PDF, regardless of where you live. I can send you a PDF that is the One Sheet Wonder class. So it'll explain to you how to cut the pieces again, and it'll show you a bunch of different techniques and layouts for how to put together these cards. There we go. Solved my own problems. Okay, so for this one, we're going to use that 4x2 inch piece, and we're going to use kind of a longer strip here as well. And I'm going to rip this one kind of to the length that I want. There we go. So this piece is going to get glued down. And then this piece we're going to do some stamping on. So let's bring back our old olive and our little leafy leaf here. And we're going to stamp on here a few times with our little leafy leaf. And then in early espresso, I'm going to do that May Your Birthday Be Memorable. If you're taking cling mount stamps off of the block, don't pull on the rubber because you'll actually pull the foam right up. You want to get a fingernail, or if you have a take your pick tool, the spatula end, get it under the label and lift under the label. That way you don't tear the foam. Just a little pro tip because they are so sticky. All right. May your birthday be memorable. There we go. Okay, now we've got this piece. It's going to go up on dimensionals. Oh, no. I wanted to do a bit of that burlap trim. Can you tell that this is like my favorite thing to do with burlap trim, is to just put down a piece of tear and tape where I want it. It's just so easy. And it adds such a nice texture to your card without taking much effort at all. There we go. Now we're going to dimensional this. That's going to go right across from there. And then let's add some rhinestones because we can. Let's add them down. Okay, I don't know why I'm doing this that way. This is so much easier. There we go. So we have another card finished. Now you may still have some pieces left over in your make and take kit. Totally fine. Like I said, these are kind of a more free form mail and make this month. So there is the 3 cards that I just made live, and I'm going to show you some more. Now some of these I've sent out, so I don't have all of them anymore. There's another variation on this card here where I used a thicker strip and kind of changed it up. There's another version of that one where I tore that. And those are all different cards. Here is a variation of this one where I actually cut this square up into 4. So you'll see all of those and more in that PDF that you will get for free when you post your cards, either made with the pieces that I sent you in your make and take packet, or just inspired by these cards, post them to Creating with the Crafty Medic, and I will send you that PDF that has all the instructions and some more inspiration for the One Sheet Wonder. And I will post the PDF instructions for it's not these 3 cards specifically, it's 3 cards kind of that I based the make and takes off of. I will post those in a moment. Thank you for watching. Enjoy, happy crafting, and I can't wait to see what you make. Bye.